Hi, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thank you for joining us. Hey, look, um, we've got a couple videos that are you're going to be coming out. This being one of them that have some controversial thoughts and opinions. So be it. You know what? Nobody is alike. Everybody is different. Traditional Filipino women. What are traditional Filipino women? And what are your thoughts about traditional Philippine women? And what changes have you seen? Let's talk about it.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Like I said, some of these opinions you're not going to like, some of them you'll agree with, some of them you won't. We're not relationship experts, and we never said we were. And quite frankly, we never will be. And there's a reason for that. It's not because we're not educated enough, it's because it constantly changes. So let's just see what I'm talking about. How about that? Traditional Philippine women. You know, you can go on the internet, you can look it up, and it's going to tell you all the cultural history, what the traditional matriarchal roles are within the Philippines. And we're just going to say bullshit. We're going to say bullshit because, quite honestly, I think there's a lot of information that has not been updated. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at this. The first one is, what do you consider a traditional Philippine woman? Hey, in the comments below, why don't you let us know? Secondarily to that, this is what we think. It doesn't matter what you think a traditional Philippine woman is. It doesn't matter what historical data you can find on the internet that tells you what a traditional Philippine woman is. Gender roles and responsibilities are changing almost daily across the entire world, here in the Philippines as well. The difference between a conversation you would have with a girl you met, say, at the mall or someplace, a restaurant, whatever, 10 years ago versus the conversation you would have now is much different. Much different. And you can thank the internet for that. Don't let historical stereotypes fool you. Without a doubt, Filipino women are strong, they're compassionate, they're loyal, and they're very passionate. All right? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right? I mean, those things have never changed. But their roles within society are rapidly changing. And that's where the but comes in. The amount of rapid growth that social media has had over the past 10 years has been phenomenal. It went from millions to literally billions. All right. And Philippines is plugged in. It may not be a great plug. Okay, I get it. Our internet ain't the best all the time, but it's pretty damn good. And they are masters at finding a way to get on it. They live on Facebook, TikTok, foreign dramas. Oh, they love Korean dramas. Oh my God. Inako. All right. All of that being said, social media has played a huge role. Communication to OFWs. In other words, when this Filipina has a cousin who's an OFW and they're chatting and talking and occupying each other, they're getting information from the outside world. And when they start to see what the outside world looks like and what people go through, their thirst for knowledge just simply increases. When a Filipina travels and they come back to their home and they relay the stories and the photos of their travel and all of the different things that go along with it, I mean, it's the difference between down the street, there's a sorry store, or down the street, there's a Walmart. Huge difference. It gets imprinted upon the friends and their family. Finally, the middle class in the Philippines is growing. I'm going to touch on that a little bit in the next video, but in a tangential method, but it is true. And so with that being said, the middle class questions the quality of life when they're looking at the quality of life outside the Philippines. And they want that quality of life. They're jealous. I would be too. All right? I mean, shit. Why? We would highly recommend that you keep this one thing in mind. All right? Oh, I think I skipped one there. Nope, I got it. All right. Many Filipinos have already had rapid, radical changes to their life. Where do you think, like, for instance, here in Angeles, most of the women in Angeles that work, the vast majority of them, come from the provinces. The middle class here in Angeles, their parents are putting them through school. The people that you're going to interface with are not going to be upper management. They're going to be the sales floor, the sales force. Many of them come from the provinces. All right. They've already had to adapt from coming from a small home where a dozen people live and there's one bathroom to an apartment that they share with 3 people or 4. They've already had to adapt to public transportation. They've already had to adapt to being online and banking. Now, they may not necessarily have a bank account. Gcash, it's an electronic wallet, same thing. But a huge percentage of these people are from the province, all right? And they've already had to adapt. And so if they've adapted, you're going to either have to adapt, accept their behavior, or move on. One of the 3. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. You can beat that horse all you want. They're only going to drink what they want. Don't mistake a Filipina's demure and polite presentation for a sign of stupidity or weakness. I will say it is a culturally inherent and ingrained attitude to be polite. I mean, they can be disagreeing with you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. But in their mind, they're going, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Look, they're ingrained to be polite. And I look for that to actually be changing in the future. I look for them to be more assertive. They are to a certain extent, but these women are not fools. They are exposed to manipulative and historically misogynistic behavior from a young age. But they're looking on the internet and they're seeing that's not the way it has to be. That's not the way it needs to be. I look at these women in Korea because they're real big on Korean dramas here. All right? That's not the way they are. They're demure and polite, but they're calculating and vicious. If you've ever watched any of these Korean dramas, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. As these women delve deeper into social media, it imprints upon them just how possible it is to achieve that kind of life. And that's what they stress, that's what they want. Why would you want anything less than what somebody else has that's nice? That's not a human thing, It really and truly isn't. You've got to treat them with the same respect and honesty that you expect them to treat you with. They are not dumbasses. Never, ever forget all partnerships have a CEO, a chief executive officer. All right? Whether it's a sole proprietorship, whether it's a major corporation, that's where the buck stops ultimately. All right? So do partnerships with Filipino women. When we say all these strengths about these things about the strengths and the direction Filipinas would just tell you this. You're the boss. You're the CEO in any relationship. You have to be firm, but fair, reasonable. Don't be manipulated or weak in your decisions. All right? Do not second guess yourself. Listen to all pertinent information. Just like you're listening to this, you're gathering information. Doesn't hurt to gather information from your partner. But don't be weak in your final decision. Don't be manipulated. Finally, make your plan and stick to it. All right? Be sure, you can budge a little here and there, but don't fall off your path. That's what's really critical. Now, those things all being said, times are changing, all right? And you're going to get people, even like me, old guys, trying to tell you how it is. Guys in their 50s and 60s and 70s. Well, guess what? These girls in their 20s and 30s, they're not as easily manipulated as they used to be. All right? Those of you that used to take advantage of that situation, you may find yourself in a whole different position. You may find that things are not what you used to be thinking that they are. And that may very well work for you, all right? It may not impact you at all. But you have to be aware that things are different. So, with that being said, hey, we would really appreciate it if you subscribe, and we would really appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up. Otherwise, the next two videos, they'll be out shortly. Take care.